My name is Brianna Rovinski. This is Justin Fehrenbach. We are owner-operators, partners in life and crime of Shore Floors by Justin Fehrenbach. We are a very small family-owned business, small as in we have 3 employees and we are 2 of them. Our other employee is here, Chris. Chris, say hi. There we go. So it's very small right now. We launched as of January 1st of this year, though Justin had been installing floors for about a decade before that. This year is when we decided to break off and go on our own and really start promoting ourselves as our own business. So we operate on a little bit of a different platform than your traditional flooring retail business. We're independent installers. We do not have a retail storefront. So what we rely upon is other retailers and our own networking to bring in our jobs, which is scary. You don't have people just walking in for any reason. You've got to go out there and find them. So that's been one of our biggest challenges, and also one of the most rewarding things is when you can sell someone sitting next to you having coffee instead of in front of a carpet. Let's see. Shore Floors is actually under an umbrella of a corporation that we began because we hope to, being so young, build a business that has many businesses, produce stands, craft stores, whatever we decide to get into in life, and then also hopefully organize some nonprofit organizations out of that as well. So we decided to operate Shore Floors as a doing business as of our parent corporation. More about Shore Floors and our business philosophy in general. It's centered around empowerment. We believe in empowering ourselves and empowering those around us. Success is important for all of us, shared and equal. We have come to understand that it's not about just being strong enough to carry the load, it's about wanting to. And when we broke off on our own, we decided we wanted to carry the burden of supporting ourselves and everyone around us. We chose to have employees. We could have very easily subcontracted, as Justin had been for years, and not really worried about anybody else and only worried about ourselves, but we didn't. We believe it's important to get back to taking care of those people that work hard for you every day, and you'll work hard for them every day. It's been terrifying and satisfying on a level we did not know was possible until we did it. So it's been an experience, but a really good one. Our plan is to keep finding ways to make any peg fit any hole by building it. We can see something that's round and figure out how to make it square if that's what we have to do. On a grander scale, we believe we're able to do a lot of the things we do because we're in the thick of a changing business climate. Through education and experience, Justin and I have been bred for business. I feel like in school we definitely learned differently about a business climate that maybe people in the generations before us hadn't seen so much in a traditional education system. In addition to that, we have both been working since we were of age, and we've been privileged enough to work for a lot of small businesses and entrepreneurs in this area who were, I think, ahead of the curve a little bit and thought outside the box and went against the grain. Some of the ideas that we still carry today in our business that we learned from them are things like, not everyone's a customer, going completely against the traditional notion that the customer is always right, and things like creating urgency and getting out there with like the guerrilla style old school marketing where you're in people's faces and they see you and they know you. Even with today's social technology, which is great and it lets us expand and reach a lot of people, we've still found that nothing beats being face to face with someone. We even had a friend the other day who knows us very well and was like, oh, I was going to message you on Facebook about coming to do some work for me, but now that you're here, it was fresh in her mind. She was like, I'll definitely give you a call and we'll be ready to go. You know, she may never have sent that message. So being in front of her, handing her that card and locking it down was important. And because we don't have a retail storefront, that's one of the biggest things for us. We have to be out there. We have to let people see us and know that we're there in order to get our jobs in. And that's forced us to be creative about how we do it. We definitely have to think outside the box about where to reach our customers and how to get the jobs closed. And that's it. I know we have 6 minutes. That's pretty much all we have. If you guys, question Q&A part, we're ready for it. So Justin's going to kind of field that. I'm much better at the plan speaking. Justin is much better at the impromptu. So, yes, we're a good team. So,
Great presentation.
thank you.
Is there any questions? Good morning. Great presentation. Thank you.
you.
And congratulations on your new business.
Thank you.
Type of flooring. Do you do carpeting, tiling, hardwoods?
Everything.
I'm
like she
thinking
touched
up
on.
ideas for you to come over.
We will do whatever you want. We will find a way.
I've been installing floors for 10 plus years, and I've installed a little bit of a lot of everything really. So I can do anything from hardwood, carpet, vinyl, ceramic tile, vinyl plank, luxury vinyl tile, anything out there. Even if I haven't installed it, I can find out how to install it, and I'm very good at it.
Awesome. Thank you.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
First of all, I love your can-do attitude. That's awesome. And one of the things I completely agree with you how that personal contact is so much in developing a relationship. Do you ever feel any pushback from people because we are in such a digital age when people like to communicate via email, Facebook, and all that? Do you ever feel that people say, you don't need to come see me today, just email me or call me on the phone? Have you seen any of that?
Yeah, it is. A lot of people try and keep their distance in a sales relationship because there is competition and they don't want to get too attached to one avenue and they want to feel out all options. So they do, it does seem like some people do try and keep that distance until they really want to settle on who they're going to install with.
And it's difficult. People, a lot of times, it's much quicker to send an email, but with flooring, there's a lot of variables. And we don't want to overcharge and we don't want to undercharge. So we really have to make people understand, look, we can quote you all day long, but until we see it, until we're standing there with you, we don't know. And there's always other options to consider. They may say, well, I want hardwood. Well, there's a ton of stuff that looks like hardwood that's a little more affordable. And if you're not there actively engaging in a conversation, you might not find out those pieces that you need to really close that sale and to really give them what they want. So it is a little difficult when people just kind of are like, well, can't you just, come over, measure it, and then email me everything. So we do try to make sure we let people know it's a little bit more than that. You need to be with us, and we want to build a relationship with you. We want to really know how many kids you have and what do they do to your floors? How messy are they? Do you have animals? Things like that are important, and they're things you might not find out unless you're just having a conversation with someone.
I agree.
Thank you. Great presentation, by the way. I'd like to know how you actually cost out the process, because if I understand you correctly, you would come to the site, you'd measure the site, then you'd discuss the type of flooring that the customer may or may not really want. How do you cost out the time that you put into the upfront business to actually attempt to generate the sale?
We actually don't cost it. We do free estimates and free workup. Anything that we do measurement-wise, estimate-wise is free. We just kind of, you got to get out there. And you'll find most flooring places, they might present it in a gimmicky way and make you think you're getting something, but they all realize you can't thoroughly bid a job until you've been there and you've seen it. So it's just better to say to people, we have no problem coming out and measuring, and we don't build it in on the back end or anything like that. We just look at it as an opportunity, and who knows, they may need us down the road in 5 years from now. So it's never a wasted opportunity by not charging to come out and do a measurement and an estimate. So we just kind of, I think I answered. Is that what you were asking?
I mean, that all varies by the
Yeah.
size of the job, honestly. I mean, if you're measuring an entire house, that can get pretty extensive, especially if people are looking at different areas with different products. They may want to price out 2 different products in one area. They may want to do, I have a buddy right now measuring his house, and he's looking at carpet options in some areas for potential other areas. So I have to price out,
Multiple
all
options.
different avenues for him. But, once again, that's all part of the process. We don't really charge for that. It's just kind of,
It's what we do at 8 o'clock at night once
yeah.
our baby goes to bed. That's kind of what happens.
But
We
once
just
you
work
get the
around
numbers
clock.
together and everything, is in front of you, it doesn't take as long as you think. And then you can tweak the numbers and move them around and put together different packages.
But it definitely takes us a few hours
Yeah.
per job until we get through the measurements, we get through their product selections. It's definitely at least a 3-hour process at minimum.
The advantage I see is that you're visiting the site. customer as opposed to a customer going into a store and picking out what they want. You're visiting the site, and I would think the customer is better served by you knowing what you're dealing with up front. Now, the other side of that is do you have catalogs or something or samples that you bring with you? How do you give the people the options of what they can use or want to use?
There's a couple different options when you do that. You can take stuff on site and have them look at it there and choose. But we also do work with 2 different retailers right now that allow us to work out of their stores. So we can take our customers in and show them, the whole store. I am Fehrenbach.
Yes. Yes,
Mike-
we
Mike-
are.
Mike's
Mike
my
is his
dad.
father, yes, correct. But we are not a part of that. But yeah, so fortunately, we are very fortunate that we have a support system where we can work with, and actually Justin is also related to Anderson Carpet One in Rehoboth as well. That's his mom's side of the family.
Yeah.
So we're fortunate in that we have a very good support system that they allow us to use it. Yeah, exactly.
I like to think you always have a choice.
So yeah, we're fortunate that we get to do that. But we do find it better if you just take samples. If you can be in the moment and have a sample and say to someone, look, here it is on your floor. Do you like it? It can help you to close that sale as opposed to them walking into a store and seeing 100 options and then just getting overwhelmed and confused. So, and Justin's been doing it so long. We kind of operate on the philosophy, you may walk in and say, I want a Berber carpet. Berber carpet might not be what you need at all, but because you've heard Berber, you're going to walk in and say that. And Justin and I really try to fine-tune, well, let's really talk about this. What do you really need? Let's get you that. Let's not just get you McDonald's because you heard about McDonald's on TV kind of thing. So.
We built a custom home 7 years ago, and I wish I had known about you. Because,
we do too.
yeah, because the consult that you give would have saved us a lot of money and a lot of time. We ended up buying flooring at a big box store and ended up having to store it in a trailer that we paid for 2 months before it was ready to put in, da-da-da-da. But you could have taken the whole package for us. It's a pretty big home, and we could have really used your assistance. Have you looked into new construction to visit that?
We have, and we will be getting in touch with the builders and things like that and reaching out to them. Right now it's a little difficult because we're small and we're not trying to rush anything. Justin is very, very good, and Chris has been working with Justin for a while now, and Chris has grown by leaps and bounds. And we don't want to rush anything and push too fast. And a lot of times with new construction, they're putting up a lot all at once, and they want a flooring company that can come in there with 5 or 6 crews, maybe even someone. What people don't realize a lot of times, even when you hire a company, they may be subcontracting their work out. We have even discussed with our insurance agent multiple times, we will not be subcontracting our work out. We will have employees, and when we're ready to add them, we will add them and grow. So a lot of times it's tricky with new construction because they'll take on people who subcontract other people to have 8 crews running through the house.
Well, I'm thinking of the custom homes. Ours was a custom home. We worked with 20 different contractors.
Right.
And if you could maybe even look at building permits and see who the custom homes
Yeah,
might
we've
be.
reached out to Echelon because I know they're like a smaller custom home company. So that's kind
I'm
of where
talking
we're
about
going.
individuals, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of opportunity.
That's great. Thank you very much for that. That's
Dr. Smith, I'll be right with you. We're backed
We're
up here.
popular all of a sudden.
Hi there. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you restore hardwood floors?
I'm actually in the process of getting into that right now. I have actually 2 jobs coming up that are more trial sessions. One is my mother's house. She needs to have redone. Another is a friend of the family, but I have not done that yet. So that is something I'm fairly inexperienced with, but I do plan on changing.
Great. I need it.
Okay. We'll give you a card.
Also, what type of business are you? Are you an LLC, sole proprietorship?
We're incorporated.
We actually made this decision to incorporate. We had some advice from a CPA, and we also looked up a lot of stuff on our own. And though a lot of people say, oh, LLC is the way to go, you don't get the double tax and all this other stuff, you can just wipe your hands clean. When we really looked into it and when we really thought about our long term and where we want to be and how we want to build, a corporation was without a doubt the right decision.
And also, you mentioned nonprofit organization. have you done that, or do you plan to do that? And what type of nonprofit organization will that be?
We haven't done it yet, no. What we've started to do is kind of make contact. It's very easy when a lot of the nonprofits have their, their dances or their fundraisers to donate a carpet cleaning. It's one of the easiest things we can do, and it usually brings in people who love to have their carpets cleaned. It's a nice, not high ticket item, but it's something that will bring in some things at a silent auction or a door prize. So what we've done is started to reach out via that way. And then when we build a little bit more, I'm hoping to be able to do something. I went to college for sociology, so I'm a little more, love the business side, but I'm really into redeeming
You might want to
social
partner with
conditions.
Habitat for Humanity?
Yeah, exactly. We've reached out to them. Contractors for a Cause, also by Mike and Builders. But yeah, pretty much we want to look into businesses giving back to the community in some way we can do
Great,
that.
thank you.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations to both of you. We've been talking that you're doing two things. You are kind of doing subcontracting through builders or retail stores, and then you're reaching out directly to the customer and doing that personal consultation, competitive advantage piece. Look into the future. Where do you see your growth? One or the other? Both?
I honestly want to encompass more of the business myself. I want to change the install process per se, more customized to what the customer needs. And like the way I've been doing it for the last 10 years or so is, someone handles the job, hands it to me, I do it, and I leave. You know what I mean? I'd rather be with the customer through the entire process and get a better feel for what they're doing so I can do a better job in the end. And it helps me organize my schedule in a way that allows me more time with my family. That's one of my biggest goals, honestly, is to be able to afford opportunities for us as well on the side. Through my 20s, I just worked so hard. I feel like, 50, 60 hours a week, no time left over other than sleep and, food and, whatever else I need to do to get on to the next day. So, I grinded it out in my 20s, and I'm not saying I'm not going to be working just as hard, but I'd at least be able to create opportunities for myself elsewhere too.
Working smarter.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're definitely going to lean more towards building. Hopefully what we want to do is total renovation. We know a lot of people, we've grown up in the area, and we're coming of that age where, we're the young and hungry. We're the ones that have to start the new wave of our own businesses. And we have a lot of friends that are already doing wonderful work in all different areas. So our hope someday is to be able to walk into your home and do the whole thing. So in order to do that, we really want to reach out and build ourselves away from a retail connection. But like I said, again, we're blessed to do that because we have a good support system to find a retail connection. So it's a unique opportunity that maybe not everyone would be afforded trying to do what we're doing.
That's a great direction, and the more I think you market that unique difference that you can make, the more likely you would be to grow that area.
Thank you very much.
You said you had the opportunity to work with several different businesses as you were growing up. What's the one takeaway that you would say that you learned? What's the best thing that you learned from working from all those different places?
I think it's just nice to, what we want is for people to come to us. Don't go to Lowe's. We have so many people that come to us for an estimate, and they'll say, well, Lowe's is selling it for 59 cents a square foot. Well, first of all, they're not. Go get an estimate done. You're going to get it somewhere. They're going to build those prices, and you're not getting a free installation. And if you are, you really want someone they're not paying to come in and install your floor? Probably not. So our focus has been to stay local. We went to Locomotive to get our logo done. I just went to Arena Signs to have him work up some magnets and business cards. Spreading the business out. We have someone else we're going to get T-shirts from. I could have done all that online and got T-shirts for 99 cents a pop with our logo, but that's not what it's about. It's about being out there with other business people and letting them know, I'm here for you, be here for me. So that's been the biggest thing, I think.
That's awesome. That's that entrepreneurial ecosystem
Yes,
which we are
it's
creating
important.
here.
I don't know if I'll say it exactly, but when the tide's high, all ships float. All ships rise when the tide is high. So you got to just help out everybody.
Hi, I'm just curious. Okay, so you actually began in January of this year. So how is business going?
I'm Very happy. You know, things are just, I finally feel like I have control over my daily operations. It's just a free feeling, you know, running your own business. Now you're working towards your own future, not, you know, depending on someone else. You know.
Business has been good. It's been busier than we expected at this
Okay,
point.
so you're not having any issues with people wanting free estimates, and then, I mean, normally, if someone is, you know, if they're having you come out there to do an estimate, are they usually following through?
Hit or miss. I mean, I've had some fall through, and some people tell me they're going to put it off a few months. You know, it happens.
Have you ever thought of maybe like just offering like a gift certificate? Like, you know, if you like respond or whatever, you can redeem this gift certificate or something
I have
like
not
that.
thought of that.
No, I haven't either, and that's a good, yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a little something that you're offering
Right,
to
yeah.
try to get them to, you know, differentiate you from, like you said, like Lowe's or something. I
Right.
mean, you walk into Lowe's, you're not going to get, first of all, you're going to go to the front and pay $35 for them to put you on a schedule for somebody to come out there.
Right.
You know, and you're constantly, and they subcontract.
Yeah, exactly.
They subcontract everything, so that person may not be able to come until the evening. You know, I mean, it's at their convenience.
Yep.
Most of the time, so.
And what we try to remind people when you do go to Lowe's, like you said, they're subcontracting, and they could be a fly-by-night. In 3 weeks, when you've got a giant hole in your floor or your stove, you know, something's leaking because they didn't put it back right, they could be gone. And Lowe's
Right.
could say, sorry, their number's disconnected, and we have no responsibility to you because it was their work. That's what subcontracting is. They become responsible. And that's why we really try to let people know, you know, we're established. We have a home. We have a child. We're here. You're going to find us in 3 weeks. Don't worry.
Right.
You know, so remember that, because things like that are important. When down the road you may have an issue and you just want to have that installer back to say, you know, yes, no, whatever you would like about that. But that's a good idea. We've been really trying to figure out how to catch people's attention without just saying
Yeah, I mean, it
free
doesn't have
or
to
this
be
or
it
that.
doesn't have to be a lot, but
Right.
you know.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Good luck.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much.
What can we do as a community to support you?
You want me to- I think, just like we pointed out earlier, just stay local. At least consider your options. I know Lumber Liquidators is great because they have hardwood for 99 cents a square foot. But if you go into a local retailer, not even just us, but if you go to a local retailer and you want some kind of deal where you're just going to walk away with the product and no install, they can probably give you a pretty good deal too. And we've tried to consciously live by this practice. Instead of going to Wawa to get our coffee in the morning, we'll go to Arenas. Instead of going to Lowe's, we go to Ace. You know, we try to practice what we preach, and that's all we ask of you. Just at least find out who's out there locally, find out who they are, and at least consider them before you do something, because they may be able to make something work for you in a combination of buying from a bigger chain store, but then installing and be able to say, well, I'm not going to say too much about the product, but at least you know I'm here and I was the installer and you have a face-to-face relationship with me. So that's the only thing we ask. Like, if you really want to support local business, try to think about that in your everyday, how you can change what you're doing. And we'll continue to do that too.
One thing I'd like to touch on too, something that bothers me as an installer, and I'm all about competition. Lowe's, you know, they'll have these marketing campaigns where they're saying, you know, have your entire house installed for $99. You know, go ahead and get a quote from them and come to me, and I will beat it 9 times out of 10. Like, what they work in all these extra numbers on the side that you don't see, and then just try and cloud your vision with a $99 install. But I mean, for the everyday customer, you know, I can compete all day long with Lowe's, Home Depot, anyone really. You know what I mean?